Washington and in New York City. Good evening from Washington tonight, where we met with President today. The President today, what he says about that special counsel now brought in to investigate Russia. But we are also following the horrific pictures out of New York City today. The deadly crash, a driver plowing into pedestrians right in the middle of Times Square. This be terror in New York. Tonight, though, what authorities now believe. ABC's Gio Benitez is in Times Square tonight. And Gio joins us tonight live from Times Square. And Gio, we know there's been a stepped-up police presence in Times Square. It worries people around the world have been using cars as weapons. That was the first fear today, but tonight they're convinced this was something else. In Washington tonight, because some of the network anchors were invited to the White House today to meet with President Trump on the eve of his first foreign trip. I asked the president how he will answer overseas when asked if he supports this new special counsel overseeing the Russia investigation. The president touched today on the FBI director who fired, James Comey. When asked did he pressure Comey to end the investigation into Michael Flynn, how he answered. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Carlton. From the White House, and John, as you just pointed out there, this does set up a showdown of sorts between the president and James Comey. Only two people in that room, and one memo reportedly written by James Comey saying the president did pressure him to drop the Flynn investigation, but the president made it very clear today in that room. He says that simply did not happen. It was a reported right here on this broadcast. The White House was given just 30 minutes notice before the Justice Department revealed the special counsel would now be taking over the investigation into Russian meddling and any possible collusion with the Trump campaign. The deputy attorney calling this the biggest witch hunt in American history. But a key Republican tonight with advice for the president on how he should be handling this. ABC's Mary Bruce on the Hill. Bruce with us from Capitol Hill tonight. And Mary, we just saw there, again, the president referring to that memo from the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. But Rosenstein himself made it very clear on Capitol Hill today to those senators that he was not the driving force behind the decision to fire Comey.
David Rosenstein has
At the White House today, the president did reveal to us something else. He says he is very close to naming his pick to run the FBI. ABC Senior Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas at the FBI tonight. Just live at the FBI tonight at Pierre. This FBI investigation has already been underway now for about 10 months, long before Election Day. So this new special counsel, does he start all over, or does he pour through the evidence they've already gathered there at the FBI? Right into the dangerous storms from the heartland, stretching all the way up to the northeast tonight. 25 million Americans in the path this evening. Tornado watches in several states. This twister already is in the storm zone. Ailes has died. The former Fox News CEO just recently resigned amid mounting allegations of sexual misconduct. He leaves behind a cop with a microscope at Fox, ABC's chief national court, Fox News headquarters in New York. Tom, thanks. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Thursday. Death in police custody. Video tonight of the takedown. The